Okay, to replace the bearings, the plastic bearings on your RocknRoller Cart with a steel bearing, like this, you're going to need a piece of scrap wood for the front wheels, a needle nose plier, you might need a flat file, you might need a mallet, and you might need some kind of grease or lubricant, and a rag is a good idea. So the 150 set is standard for the R12. You use that for the back wheels and the front wheels. And the 250s are for R18 and maybe some other large carts for the front wheels only. So the first step is to remove, let's do the back wheels first. I have the quick release set installed. If you don't have that installed, it'll be a standard cotter pin and you just have to bend that over with your needle nose pliers. Remove the washer and the pin, and then the wheel will come off. And flip to the back side. Take your needle nose plier and pry out this plug with your plier. And then you can pull out the old bearing pretty easily. And you can see it's just a plastic bearing. And then you'll take your new steel bearing, remove the sleeve. It's a spring sleeve. And insert that into the hub. You'll pinch and push. And then you put the bearing in. This one already has some grease on it. And then this is a good time to check. This bearing comes in and out easily. It's a good time to check the axle. Make sure it slides on okay. Some users have experienced some burring on the end of their axle, or it's a little bit too tight. So in that case, you can take your file and clean off any burrs or reduce the overall diameter of your axle a bit if you need to. So this one's fitting just fine, so we'll slide that back into the hub, and then you'll add your cap back into place and then slide back onto the axle, add your washer, and we included some cotter pins if you need to replace yours. And that's it for the back wheel. For the front wheels, if you don't have our quick release set in, this will be a standard clevis pin and cotter pin. You'll need your needle nose plier again to remove the cotter pin, and then your front wheel will come off. So then take your needle nose pliers and remove the cotter pin that is holding on the axle. And then flip the wheel, and you can pull out this whole brake and axle. And then there's going to be a washer on the front and back side of the fork. And then you'll take your needle nose plier again and pull this plug out, access the plastic bearing, and add your spring into place, pinch and push all the way in. And then this is a good time to just pre-check again, make sure this is going to fit on okay. If it doesn't, you can add grease, you can file this edge down, and just make sure this is going to slide on okay. Alright, take the bearing, put it into place, and replace the cap. Now take the fork, put it over the wheel, and add your washer back into place in between the fork and the wheel, and then re-add your axle and brake at the same time. And that's where it can get a little wiggly, and make sure you want to push that through the bearing all the way. Flip the wheel, make sure it comes out. See that this popped off my cap, so push the cap back into place. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure this axle goes all the way through. So I'm going to put some pressure on this cap. This cap keeps coming off. Okay, so now I'm going to use my scrap wood. I'm going to push down on this. There we go. So now it went through. Alright, So now we can add the washer in between the fork and the wheel, and then go back to your scrap wood. Make sure your brake is in place, and rest that axle onto your scrap wood. So now it's hovering over your workspace, and now you have something to push down onto. Add your pin back into place and bend it back around with your needle nose pliers. Make sure those don't get in your way. And then you can reinstall your front wheel, and that's it. Bearing upgrade.